I think the best advice I can give my clients is to tell me what your problems are rather than what you want to do. It's sort of like going to the doctor. You go to the doctor, you tell them your symptoms, they'll assess you and give you advice. We'll do the same. Tell us what your problems are and we can make a better home for you. Prior to your first design meeting, I recommend that you take some time to organize your thoughts. Come up with a list of all the rooms that you'd like to see in the house. I recommend 2 columns. The first column will be the list of rooms. The second column would be the details of each of those rooms. As an example, you probably want a foyer. Do you want that foyer to be 1 story or 2? Are you gonna see the stair in that foyer? Do you want a view from the front door to the back of the house? Or do you want that foyer to be private? These are all details that an architect's gonna wanna hear in order to make the house as customizable as possible to your needs and wants. If you're designing with somebody, it's probably a good idea to get on the same page with your partner. All too often, clients will come into my office and they'll have their own separate lists, which is a great idea, but they have never synced them together. And where I commonly see this come out is when we're talking about bathroom and closet design. Sometimes people want shared vanities and some people want shared closets and other people want separate closets. I know some of my clients are probably like, oh no, he's talking about us right now. And yes, I'm talking about you. In order to make the most of our first meeting, there's gonna be a couple of things you're gonna wanna do. First thing is to give us a site survey. We're gonna take that site survey, we're gonna analyze the zoning, and that's gonna give us a snapshot of what we can possibly do with your property. Another good idea to bring to that first meeting is a sketch. And not because I wanna see the house that you would design, but there's something that happens in that mind-to-hand connection that if you're thinking about the house like that, you might start to visualize it a little bit better, and that'll be useful. I recommend bringing 5 exterior images to your design meeting. First of all, these images are gonna better convey what you'd like to do than any descriptive words like modern, contemporary, transitional could ever express, since those can really mean anything. Second, you probably have hundreds of photos of homes that you've saved over the years. By narrowing it down to 5 images, you'll be able to focus on the aspects of these homes that you prefer the most. Lastly, you want to avoid creating what we in our office call a Pinterest house. That's when you have a photo of a bay window and a bracket and a corbel and wood and stone, and you jumble all these things up into a design because you like these elements, but it just doesn't come together as a house. Before you conclude your first design meeting, you might want to consider asking a few questions. You might want to ask your architect, do you think you're making any mistakes? Your architect has probably seen a lot of houses before, so their insight could be valuable to you. Another important question is, at what point should we be looking at pricing and budget? Any architect will tell you they need a contractor to price the job. Any contractor will tell you they need an architect to price the job. So when you get through conceptual design, that's usually the best time to introduce a contractor and start that process. A little bit different than the first question that I said, I would ask the architect if they would do anything differently. Again, the architect has seen a bunch of things in the past, but they may have seen opportunities for you that you didn't consider. This is a good opportunity to bring that up. The last question I recommend you ask is, can we take some time to think about this? All too often, I see clients rush decisions in the beginning because they want to get filed, they want to get started, only to redo things at the end because they didn't take the time to decide in the beginning. Take some time, make sure you're making the right decisions.